In a world that often glorifies wealth and convenience, we sometimes forget the beauty of a life lived with purpose, faith, and resilience. What if the path to true peace doesn't come from what we gain, but from what we endure? This is the story of Lucas, a humble farmer who, despite facing the depths of hardship, never let go of his faith. While many would have given up, he chose a different way, a way marked by relentless work, unwavering love, and quiet hope. Lucas believed that blessings come to those who persevere, and through the toughest days, he turned to God, not for riches, but for strength. This isn't just another tale. It's an invitation to look at our own struggles with a renewed sense of purpose. So, if you're ready to discover how a simple farmer found the true wealth of life, let's journey together into Lucas's inspiring world. Lucas was one of those rare men you come across once in a lifetime. A simple man, the owner of a small farm, yet carrying an unshakable faith and an admirable sense of determination. In that life filled with soil and hard work, Lucas never let hardships break him. He always wore a shy smile and had a word of gratitude at the tip of his tongue. He was the kind of person who could turn simplicity into a life lesson. His journey wasn't about the size of his land or the wealth he accumulated, but rather about the richness of his heart and the wisdom he shared with those around him. When it came to his farm, he didn't see it merely as land. He saw it as freedom. Every morning, Lucas would rise before dawn, ready to face whatever awaited him with a calm resilience. He viewed the sun peeking over the horizon as a blessing and never once resented the path he had chosen. This, he believed, was his purpose: to work the land, to honor the earth, and to serve his family with love and humility. He took pride in each crop, in each small success, believing that every harvest, no matter how modest, was a testament to his faith and perseverance. And oh, how he cherished his family. Lucas knew that everything he did was for them, and in his heart, they were the truest wealth he could ever attain. His love for his wife and children grounded him, giving him strength when times were tough. If he faltered, it was thoughts of them that lifted him back up. Lucas would often tell his children stories of old, of journeys filled with struggle and redemption, tales that carried the values of work, forgiveness, and love. Through these stories, he hoped to teach them the importance of resilience and the beauty of humble beginnings. For Lucas, faith was his foundation. He lived every day with an unwavering trust in something greater than himself. He believed that every challenge, every setback was part of a grander plan, one that would ultimately bring him closer to his purpose. It was this faith that guided him, that gave him the courage to keep going when things seemed bleak. In his quiet moments, he would stand under the open sky, hands calloused and worn, and offer a prayer, not for wealth or abundance, but for the strength to keep going, for the wisdom to navigate the unknown. Lucas's life was no stranger to hardship. There were years when the crops were sparse, when drought threatened to turn his dreams to dust. Yet he didn't waver. He held on, firmly believing that his struggles were lessons in disguise, a way to learn patience and to grow in character. In those challenging times, he would remind himself of the freedom that came with each day, the chance to start anew, and the lesson that resilience was born from within. He saw regret not as a burden, but as a teacher, urging him to face tomorrow with a wiser heart. His life was a journey, one that he walked with humility and grace. Lucas never sought admiration or applause. He simply did what he felt was right. To him, success was not defined by riches but by the legacy of love and faith he hoped to leave behind. He understood that true freedom came from a life rooted in purpose, and his purpose was clear: to live with honor, to forgive easily, and to embrace each day as a gift. To him, every step on his land was a reminder of the journey, of the lessons life had yet to teach him. And as the seasons changed and years passed, Lucas's quiet strength became a beacon for others. People began to see him not just as a farmer but as a teacher, a man who lived his truth without wavering. His life was like a prayer, a testament to the beauty of resilience and the power of faith. In every choice, every sacrifice, Lucas showed that it was possible to live a life filled with purpose, love, and quiet dignity. And so, his story continued, unfolding one humble day at a time, carrying with it the timeless lessons of faith and perseverance. Lucas and his wife, Anna, shared a bond that was forged in the fires of hardship and shaped by years of unwavering support. Their lives were far from easy, but they had each other, and that was all they needed to face the day. With scarce resources and long days of grueling work on the farm, they knew the meaning of sacrifice and resilience. Their love was one woven through years of shared struggle, understanding each glance and gesture without a word, as if they held a quiet language all their own. Together, they were a testament to the strength that lies in unity and faith. Each day was a test of patience and grit, marked by backbreaking labor from dawn until dusk. They knew that there would be no easy reward, no instant victory, just the steady rhythm of the work they poured their hearts into. Despite their modest circumstances, they never once regretted the life they had chosen. Lucas and Anna found small joys and blessings in each other's presence, whether in the laughter shared over a simple meal or the quiet comfort of holding hands under the vast, star-filled sky. These were the moments that made their struggles feel lighter. The farm, though humble, was their source of pride and a constant reminder of what hard work could accomplish. Lucas and Anna knew that every seed they planted was a testament to their commitment, a promise to keep going despite all odds. They worked the land as though it was a sacred duty, putting love into every task, no matter how small. And though they faced countless setbacks, storms that wiped out crops, animals that fell ill, they held on to a quiet resilience. Their life was an unfolding story of perseverance, of enduring hardship while never losing sight of the blessings they held. In the evenings, when the day's work was done, they would sit together, weary but grateful, and reflect on the life they had built. They spoke of dreams and hopes, not for riches, but for simple comforts and a future where they could rest. For them, happiness was not in possessions but in the freedom that came with hard work and the satisfaction of knowing they had done their best. They had no shame in their poverty. Instead, they wore it as a badge of honor, knowing it had given them a resilience that nothing could take away. Their lives were shaped by countless sacrifices, big and small, that most people would overlook. Lucas would often go without to make sure Anna had what she needed, and she did the same for him. It was an unspoken agreement between them, a shared understanding that the truest wealth was not in things but in the love they gave each other. They were rich in spirit, in kindness, in the countless acts of care they showed one another. In their eyes, every hardship they faced was just another chapter in their journey, a story of love and resilience. Despite the struggles, Lucas and Anna were blessed with moments of grace that felt like little miracles. They found strength in the smallest things, a gentle rain after a long drought, a harvest just enough to get by, a neighbor's kindness when times were tough. Each blessing, though small, was a reminder that they were not alone in their journey. In those quiet, tender moments, they felt a peace that no wealth could buy, a reassurance that their lives, though simple, held a purpose and a beauty all their own. And so, Lucas and Anna continued, their journey marked by both hardship and love, their lives a living testament to resilience. They knew that more challenges would come, but they were ready to face them, side by side, their faith as their guide. For every struggle, they found strength. For every loss, they found a reason to hold on. Their story was far from over, and they looked to the future with the hope that their prayers, whispered into the night, might one day be answered. Every night, when the stars painted the sky and the fields lay silent, Lucas and Anna would kneel together in prayer, their hands clasped and heads bowed. They didn't ask for riches or fame. Their hopes were simpler. They prayed for the strength to face another day, for a harvest that would be enough, and for the courage to endure whatever challenges life sent their way. Their prayers were like quiet whispers to the heavens, filled with humility and trust, an unspoken plea for a better future that seemed just beyond their reach. Faith was the foundation of their lives, the pillar that held them up through every hardship. They believed deeply that their path, no matter how difficult, was guided by something greater than themselves. Every amen they uttered carried the weight of their struggles and the hope of a brighter tomorrow. For Lucas and Anna, prayer was not just a ritual. It was a lifeline, a reminder that they were never truly alone in their journey. In their hearts, they felt a connection to something divine, a promise that their faith would be rewarded in ways they couldn't yet see. Even in their hardest moments, when it seemed like all they had left was faith, they refused to give up. Some nights, Lucas would wake up in the middle of the night, worried about the future, about the crops, about his family's well-being. But instead of letting fear consume him, he would take a deep breath, close his eyes, and silently pray. He knew that prayer alone couldn't plant seeds or mend broken fences, but it could give him the peace and clarity he needed to keep going. Prayer was his anchor, grounding him when the storms of doubt tried to pull him under. Anna, too, found strength in those quiet moments with God. She would often whisper her hopes for her children's future, for a life where they might know less hardship and more joy. She dreamed of a life where her children could learn, grow, and thrive without the constant weight of survival. Her prayers were like seeds she planted in the soil of faith, hoping that, one day, they would bloom into blessings. She held onto the belief that, if they remained steadfast, they would see the fruits of their perseverance and love. Their prayers weren't always about asking. Sometimes, they were simply moments of gratitude. On nights when they had enough food on the table and warmth in their hearts, Lucas and Anna would thank God for the simple blessings. They saw each meal, each sunrise, and each other's presence as gifts. They had learned that life wasn't always about getting what you want, but about finding peace in what you have. In these moments, they felt a profound connection to something eternal, a reminder that their lives, though humble, were meaningful and full of purpose. Their faith was a source of hope not only for them but for those around them. Neighbors who faced similar struggles saw the strength in Lucas and Anna and were inspired by their quiet resilience. Lucas's calm resolve and Anna's gentle spirit were like beacons in a world filled with uncertainty. People would come to them for advice, for comfort, and sometimes just to share a prayer. Their farm became a place of solace, a quiet refuge where faith and community intertwined, offering strength to those who needed it most. And as the days turned into years, their prayers became more than words. They became a way of life. Each prayer was a step on their journey, a reminder that, no matter how difficult things became, there was always a light to guide them forward. Their story of faith was not yet over. It was only just beginning, carrying with it the hope that someday, somehow, their prayers would be answered in ways beyond their imagination. One quiet afternoon, just as Lucas and Anna were beginning to feel the weight of another difficult season, a knock echoed through their humble farmhouse. Standing at the door were two strangers, dressed modestly but with a certain light in their eyes that seemed to bring warmth to the chilly day. They introduced themselves kindly, explaining they were travelers passing through, and asked if Lucas and Anna could spare some shelter and food. Though resources were tight, the couple welcomed them in, guided by a deep-rooted belief in the kindness of hospitality and the possibility of hidden blessings. The strangers shared stories of distant lands, places where people faced hardships as great as theirs, but still found reasons to be grateful. These tales were a balm to Lucas and Anna's weary souls, reminding them that they were not alone in their struggles. With each story, the visitors seemed to bring new strength into their home, reviving a sense of hope that had begun to dim. In the warmth of those shared moments, Lucas could almost feel his burdens lighten, as if the presence of these guests were an answer to prayers he hadn't dared speak aloud. To their surprise, the visitors did not come empty-handed. As they unpacked their bags, they revealed food supplies they had brought along, more than enough to share. Anna was taken aback, her eyes welling up as she realized the generosity of these strangers. The food, though simple, was a feast in their eyes, and as they gathered around the table, there was a feeling of grace that filled the room. The couple looked at each other, a silent understanding passing between them. This was no ordinary encounter. It felt as though something greater had guided these visitors to their door. As they shared the meal, the strangers spoke of faith and resilience, values that Lucas and Anna held close to their hearts. They shared their own experiences of struggle and perseverance, stories that resonated deeply with the couple. The visitors reminded them that life, though often hard, had a way of bringing unexpected blessings when least expected. Their words, filled with quiet wisdom, struck a chord in Lucas's heart, reinforcing his belief that faith could indeed move mountains, even if those mountains were just the daily challenges of farm life. Before they departed, the strangers left Lucas and Anna with a simple message: "Hold on, for there is always light ahead." They blessed the couple with words of encouragement, words that would echo in their minds long after they had gone. In that brief encounter, Lucas felt something shift, as if a small seed of hope had been planted within him. He realized that their journey was a shared one, bound by the unseen ties of faith and love, a reminder that they were never truly alone. As the visitors disappeared down the path, Lucas and Anna stood in silence, feeling the weight of their gratitude. They were left with a sense of peace, a calm that seemed to linger in the air even after the guests had gone. In their hearts, they knew that this was a moment of divine assistance, a gentle reminder that help could arrive in the most unexpected forms. This encounter rekindled their faith, filling them with renewed strength to face the challenges that lay ahead. And so, with hearts full of gratitude and spirits rekindled, Lucas and Anna returned to their daily lives. They knew that the road would still be tough, but they now carried with them the memory of those strangers and the assurance that faith would continue to guide them. Their journey, they sensed, was far from over, and they looked forward with quiet anticipation, wondering what other blessings might await them in the days to come. Just as the days seemed to blend into a routine of toil and prayer, something extraordinary happened on Lucas and Anna's farm. One early morning, as the mist clung to the fields, Lucas stepped outside to find their pastures filled with animals, healthy, robust, and seemingly out of nowhere. At first, he thought he was dreaming. He rubbed his eyes and blinked, half expecting the sight to vanish. But no, the animals were real, grazing contentedly as if they had always been there. It was a miracle, a blessing beyond anything he could have hoped for, one that left him speechless and humbled. Anna joined him, her eyes wide with awe, as they both stood in stunned silence. They couldn't fathom how it was possible. The day before, the farm had been nearly empty, and now it was brimming with life. For a moment, they simply held each other, overwhelmed by gratitude. It was as if all their prayers, whispered quietly under the night sky, had finally found their way to heaven. This miracle felt like a direct response to the faith they had clung to, an undeniable sign that their perseverance had not been in vain. News of the miracle spread quickly among the neighbors, and soon, friends and strangers alike came to see the blessed transformation. People were amazed, calling it nothing short of divine intervention. For Lucas and Anna, it was more than a mere abundance of animals. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to their journey of faith. They welcomed everyone who visited, sharing their story of resilience and the importance of never losing faith. To them, this miracle was a reminder that blessings often come when least expected, a truth that resonated deeply with those who heard their tale. With this newfound prosperity, Lucas and Anna's lives began to change in ways they hadn't dared to imagine. They were able to sell a portion of the livestock, securing funds that would help them rebuild parts of the farm, repair old equipment, and bring a bit more comfort to their modest home. But even as they experienced these blessings, they remained humble, always remembering the struggles that had brought them here. This miracle was not a chance to indulge, but an opportunity to uplift their lives and share what they could with others in need. Despite the wealth this blessing brought, Lucas and Anna continued to work the land with the same dedication and humility as before. They knew that prosperity was a gift that required stewardship, a responsibility to use wisely and not take for granted. Each day, they reminded themselves that it was their faith, not fortune, that had guided them through the darkest times. And so, they continued to pray, giving thanks for this miracle and asking for the wisdom to use it for good. Their farm became a place of gratitude, a testament to faith's quiet power. The miracle had a ripple effect, inspiring hope in those who heard their story. Other struggling farmers found strength in Lucas and Anna's tale, believing that perhaps, if they held on to faith and continued to persevere, they too might see a blessing of their own. Lucas encouraged them, reminding them that even in moments of doubt, faith could be a light in the darkness. To him, This miracle was proof that perseverance and love could conquer any hardship, a message he shared openly with all who sought his wisdom. And as Lucas and Anna looked out over their flourishing pastures, they felt an immense peace wash over them. They knew this was only the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with gratitude and purpose. Their journey had transformed, but they understood that the real blessing was not the prosperity itself, but the strength they had found within each other and the faith that had guided them every step of the way. With their hearts full, they looked forward to the future, knowing that the lessons they had learned would guide them in all the days to come. As you reflect on Lucas's journey, consider how his faith and perseverance guided him through the darkest times. What challenges are you facing right now that could benefit from the same strength and resilience? Remember, like Lucas, we all have the potential to turn hardships into growth, to transform trials into lessons. So, are you ready to embrace a new perspective on your own journey? If Lucas's story has inspired you, why not commit to applying these lessons? Take a moment to look at your life. What small changes can you make today that could lead to something miraculous tomorrow? And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. That way, you'll always have a source of motivation and faith-driven wisdom to help you along your path. Let's keep learning, growing, and walking this journey together.